All right. Well, today we are joined by Raymond Chiu, who's the CTO of Local Backhaul Networks, to talk a bit about the company. So, hey, Raymond, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, Dan, for having me.
Great. Well, maybe start off with a little background on the company for those who don't know much about you guys.
Sure. LB Networks, like we like to call ourselves, we have a software as a service application that focuses on performance assurance. We call it PMR, and it's really focused on performance monitoring and reporting capabilities of networks, especially mobile backhaul networks, any type of NFV, SDN networks that are now being innovated and being deployed out there and orchestrated as well. It's very key for customers that are interested in looking at that. So we're really focused on the service assurance side of it. At the same time, the application, again called Ocular IP, also focuses on customer experience management because we provide a web-based customer portal that customers can access, or our customers being service providers can give their end customers access to see network visibility, and then also to provide self-subscription capability, especially as the NFV and SDN continues to evolve. The orchestration for like bandwidth changes, on-demand changes such as that, making flow changes, that's all important. So we really focus on the customer experience side of service assurance.
Makes sense. And you guys are at LB Networks. Obviously, you guys are kind of focused on targeting the carrier market, whether it's any sort of a telecom operator for the most part. Then.
Yeah, I mean, our application's been out. We just actually got done releasing the 4th generation of Ocular IP. We call it 4.0. We're really excited about what we released to focus on performance visualization and reporting accuracy associated with the application. And it's really because our customers, as you mentioned, being carrier-based customers, really help drive, our software application. And then we're strategically aligning ourselves with our roadmap and development plan for the NFV and the SDN infrastructure that carriers are now embarking on as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's something, obviously, it does seem like carriers are moving, some more than others, pretty rapidly towards this virtualized world now. But again, it always seems like the one challenge is that kind of service assurance aspect, because operators do have this legacy of being very focused on service assurance, and they seem to have really nailed down their legacy operations for the most part. They knew how those things worked and knew how to manage them. But it does seem like this move now towards virtualization is kind of opening up a whole new issue for them, because they are having to kind of adjust now to this new world. It sounds like what you guys are doing is really focused on perhaps bringing some assurance to them that they can manage their service assurance needs in.
Yeah, and I mean, our application's been out for well over 5 years now with all the carriers globally that are using it. We have customers over in Asia Pac, over in Europe, a lot in North America as well globally. And the service assurance piece is now what we're bringing into the SDN and NFV side, because the carriers right now are focused on the innovation, the deployment of SDN, what NFV ecosystems are they going to bring to bear and bring to the table for their end customers. But when they're thinking about how to go about the implementation of it, the ongoing development still, even in the open standards-based community associated with it, they're like, well, how do we really ensure, right, that the service we're going to deliver, that we're instantiation, turning up, providing on-demand services, our end customers are getting that performance. It becomes even more important and critical now, because when you talk about SDN and NFV-based services that they're being deployed, they're all virtual services, which is great. It allows them to overcome the challenges, help them monetize their network faster and quicker. But the end customer is the one that you got to make sure it doesn't suffer from a performance aspect. They're being asked to turn up transport network services, compute, storage services with security services, for example, when you chain NFV type, implementations together. But then you got to make sure that the customer is getting the performance that they need from a service assurance aspect. Just a great example, you've got multiple customers using a carrier solution for SDN and NFV. They're all chained together on the same platform. So there's a lot of shared compute going on, shared storage, shared networking. So each individual customer, needs to get the service that they need. If there's an issue with the physical host or the physical infrastructure that multiple customers are sharing, now all of a sudden, they're all suffering from that issue. And who's really kind of monitoring that? And how does the carrier kind of provide that assurance, that visibility yet again, and also the capability of making dynamic changes to their service level. So a customer can just log in through our customer experience portal, see what their services are from a visibility standpoint, and actually orchestrate and actually request a change to occur with the service that they purchased from that carrier. And at the same time, the carriers now are the ones that are differentiating themselves to their end customers versus other carriers, because they can say our reports are accurate because we've integrated it through our very open standard REST APIs that Ocular IP offers to the carriers, so that all the exclusion periods, like force majeure issues with weather, for example, maintenance periods that do obviously, are scheduled. And any type of outages, they're all incorporated into the performance visibility and the reports that these customers get through Ocular IP.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, a great part of this because, again, like you're saying, I mean, this move towards virtualization is allowing operators to really expand their service offerings, but it's also opening up probably some headaches for the network guys who have to kind of implement all of this. And obviously, they want to be able to pinpoint any sort of issues that might crop up because, again, it is still relatively new technology for a lot of these guys, and so they are, obviously a little nervous at times about rolling this stuff out. And if something happens, I know I've talked to a lot of these guys, and they're always worried about that Saturday night call that something's gone down somewhere and they don't know what's going on. And it seems like being able to pinpoint where the issue might be is got to be a very reassuring aspect to getting operators more comfortable with their own move towards virtualization, but also having a platform out there that you can actually use to pinpoint these issues that might crop up.
No, yeah, that's exactly right. So I'll give you a good analogy. A decade ago, a lot of the mobile carriers out there were doing this migration from 3G to 4G services, right? And what they were doing is migrating from legacy TDM backhaul networks to Ethernet-based IP infrastructures. And really, from their perspective, they wanted to make sure that they had the confidence that the carriers themselves could deliver the service. And likewise, just like what you said, the carriers were upgrading their infrastructure level to offer high capacity services over, high performance infrastructures. But how do they give the end customer the confidence, right? The visibility to that service to ensure that they're really going to get what they need? Because at the end of the day, let's face it, the applications are the ones that are riding over these kind of networks and utilizing these services, and they've got to function at the highest level possible to meet the requirements for their ultimate customers that are using it, which is the user community out there. And so now you see the same challenge with SDN and NFV, where service assurance is really important because now these carriers are going through this evolution. You see a lot of visions right out there for 2020 right now by a lot of the big carriers. They're all moving toward SDN and NFV services, and that's great. And what does it really mean for their customer? Hopefully lower cost, better on-demand capabilities and services. But at the same time, you've got to make the customer feel confident in the service you're delivering and prove and demonstrate that so you can differentiate yourself. And it's really what we call a table stakes now, because the end customers asking the carriers for these kind of services, whether it's an RFP request or looking for a new carrier that can deliver a whole ubiquitous suite of SDN and NFV functionality and services, they're all requesting it. So now these carriers are like, well, we got to deliver it. So first we got to upgrade our infrastructure, be able to offer it, but then how do we really demonstrate to the customers that they're getting the performance that they're looking for?
Yeah, I guess great point. Obviously, yeah, I mean, the poor network guys, it seems like every 10 years they've got to do some new evolution. And so, yeah, you're right. 10 years ago was the whole IP evolution with LTE, and now it's the movement toward virtualization. And again, the timing, too, seems to be kind of in line with also all the talk about 5G now and IoT. And it seems like, with those types of services, it's becoming even more important that operators can have some comfort level in terms of their service level assurance for their enterprise customers, for instance, or whoever their customers are going to be. A lot of these agreements they have are based on these SLAs, and they've got to make sure that they are able to come through and have comfort level and making sure that they can provide these services when it comes to all these new offerings that they're going to have on the market coming out.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think now as software, everything's being virtualized into software-based services, you're going to see that the evolution is going to happen faster and faster and sooner. And again, over Ocular IP, now we're in our 4th generation release, we're expanding our service assurance to different application levels as well to help customers ensure that whatever service they're purchasing, there's not a violation, going on out there in what they're purchasing from their carriers. And at the same time, the carriers want to demonstrate that to make sure that their service level agreements they can meet them and offer them and provide them to their end customers.
Yeah, and I know your service as well, your platform, it's an as-a-service model as well. So it seems like an operator who can get involved in this and, at any sort of level they really want to and scale it up and down or be able to really kind of get their footing, I guess, and get more comfort with and then kind of, see how it fits best with their own platform for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ocular IP, we wanted to design a system, as being a software as a service, so that it was easy for carriers to start and launch the performance assurance and service assurance that they need for their end customers immediately. So our customers typically will sign up, subscribe for service, and it's on demand. We have customers starting with, just a small model to very large tier 1 models that customers just, implement themselves, integrate in, and offer to their end customers. We have, basically, just like what SDN NFV is providing, our application is on demand. So, we kind of bill customers, based upon usage based. It can be monthly, and some customers like to feel a little more comfortable with more longer term contracts, and we're happy to be flexible about that as well. But at the end of the day, we make it very simple for a customer to turn up our service. Literally, we have customers that turn them up within an hour and have it available with network visibility and self-subscription capabilities for service assurance to their end customers. One other thing that's really interesting is some of the customers, everyone's like, well, who's like your competitor? What are your biggest challenges? And I said, well, some customers like to do it themselves. They like to self-develop, it's buy versus, build for a service, right? And so customers were like, hey, you can use our service and turn it up. We've already integrated well over 285 different technology model sets into our system and application, which covers well over 95% of the carrier Ethernet 2.0 spectrum of technology manufacturers out there. So to turn up services right away, get it fully operational and working, it takes days to get up and running. And then at the same time, if you want to build it yourself, great, use our, model it off our application, but now you can deliver that service assurance to your customers day one, right? And then if you decide to migrate over later, to your own homegrown system or internal systems you're building, you can. Now, the funny thing about that, Dan, is everyone that has, kind of taken us up on that, they've never quite migrated off. But we like to not to beat on our chest too much, but we're very happy about that. But it shows how easy it is for Ocular IP to be implemented and deployed in the carrier infrastructure to offer to their end customers. I think that really goes back in that, customer experience management capability.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that flexibility of the Ocular IP platform is key to this because, like you said, operators are in such a variety of places in terms of their own network evolution at this point. Some of the more advanced guys are rolling out services, as we speak. Others are still looking at it. And it seems like everybody's kind of up and down the whole range there. So I'm guessing, again, you guys have to be very flexible to be able to, again, target such a large market out there and such a wide range of where people are in terms of their own models.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because everyone always asks me, they're like, well, I kind of search for Ocular IP and I don't kind of see many customer portals that focus on service assurance. And I said, well, the interesting thing about Ocular IP is all our customers, because they're carrier customers and they're delivering the service assurance and a customer experience to their end customers, they completely private label our Ocular IP system. It's integrated through single sign-on and our open standard REST APIs with their systems so that their end customers logging in to look at a bill or wanting to open a ticket, for example. They just simply click a link for performance assurance or service assurance, and they get access right into the Ocular IP system. But it looks like carrier XYZ's name, their authority marketing color. It has their URL name. So no one really kind of sees the fact that it's an Ocular IP named system that their customers are accessing because it is completely private branded to that carrier's infrastructure, and it just seamlessly integrates with their system. And that's how we've been able to grow over the last 5 years, throughout our entire system. We started with customers obviously here in North America, but over 5 years, we've grown now well into 85 plus, service carriers, including tier 1 providers, all the way throughout the globe now.
Yeah, well, obviously you guys are just way too modest, I guess, at this point. You guys don't have to have your name out all the time, but like you said,
Right.
You guys do have international representation here, not just in North America, but pretty much around the world as well. So it kind of shows really not just the need for the service, but obviously there's a comfort level with what you guys are offering, not just based here in North America. Again, it's kind of a worldwide a platform out there right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good, very good. Well, Raymond, definitely appreciate the great insight on this. Obviously, it sounds like you guys have a nice platform out there, and it's in a market that is rapidly evolving and changing. So I'm sure for you guys there, it's going to be a lot of long weekends, long nights, making sure you guys stay on top of all this. But it seems like you guys have a pretty stable platform and a good customer base, obviously, as well for the Ocular IP product. So but again, we definitely appreciate the great insight on the topic. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. The SDN NFV evolution, continues to grow. We're going to continually evolve our software platform for our existing customers and new customers alike, right, to take advantage of that. So you'll be seeing a lot more announcements here this year on the LB network side on Ocular IP with things that we're rolling out in our strategic roadmap that help benefit our carrier customers. Yeah,
it makes sense. And those who are watching, again, you can probably check out, go to localbackhaul.com website or just Google Ocular IP. You can find some more insight on it and obviously set up a time to actually demo the product as well with the guys there. So again, hey, Raymond, again, thanks for the time today. We appreciate it.
No problem. And we're very happy to demo our product to anyone that would be interested, especially the listeners of the webinar here.
Yeah, and again, you guys are way too easy to work with. So for those who are looking to work with you guys, it's a very easy process. I can tell you that. So again, thanks, Raymond. Thanks so much for the time.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.